Commencing transmission. Engaging disclaimers. Proxy chain initialized. WFTA-TV is now on the air.
Good morning. This is WFTA Television, commencing broadcast activities for today. WFTA broadcasts on YouTube. WFTA is owned by Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures. Our programming is brought to you live via the interwebs on videotape and film. We invite you to join us for another day of broadcasting on WFTA, your YouTube toy channel.
You're watching USA, America's favorite cable network.
Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. It's good to see you. Let's see who all is here. Hope you can hear me well. Give me a 5x5 if I'm sounding all right, guys. Sean, what up, Bill? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, Sean. Glad you came in. George Valentine, good evening, sirs in chat. Good to see you. George, Honor You 83 says, just saying, hey, got to travel tomorrow. Well, you sleep tight, buddy, and get plenty of rest so that you're wide awake when traveling. Johnny Sorensen says, who the hell's interrupting my wrestling? All right, you got some wrestling going on there, buddy. There's Motu Jonezer. We'll see him in just a minute here on the screen. Hey, Eldor. Good evening, Bill and Jonezer there, my good sirs. Master Versal Toy Hunter Eldor in there with us. Good to see you, sir. Radical Mom with us. Jeff, good to see you. Hello, gang. Another Friday night. All Music Fan 88, Jeff. Yeah, hey, man. Figuratively speaking, John, hello all. Man, good to see you. Good to see you. Moving on down, OBS is here in the house. Good to see you, OBS. Glad you could join us. All right, looks like that's got all the cool kids. Rolando Flores, good to see you, Rolando. Great. Glad everybody could show up. So let's get this show on the road. We got to get Jonezer in here with us to do that.
What's up, everybody? It's Jonezer, your favorite comic book guy. So let's do this!
What in the fuck?
Hey! When you're cool, Bill, the sun is always shining in your face. That's what I got to say here. So how the heck is everybody? It's Friday night. Are we feeling happy? Woo!
Good question. I'm going to go ahead and open up a poll down here and see how everybody's week was doing.
Disco buzz off. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love those sunglasses.
Yeah, I can't remember where I got them.
How was your week?
Not as good as I'm trying to play it off right now.
I'm
being honest with you. You got beat up at work. Echo, schmeckle.
So. That option. It sucked butthole. It sucked buttholes. All right, there we go.
You need them glasses. Glasses are cool.
There we go. We got a poll going here, so
I've already answered. I'm 100%. Oh, somebody knocked me down.
So-So's looks like it's winning there. Let's see. Disco buzz off. Someone's happy. Got two to sick. His X-ray glasses. I don't think those are X-ray glasses. I got the X-ray glasses right here, buddy. Echo.
Yeah, that's what I was like. What? I'm echoing. Hello. Or is it only when I'm loud?
Do I need to move my mic around? I don't know. I need those glasses. 2 tabs, maybe. No.
Does it help?
Every time you move that mic, oh God, stop! Every time you move that damn mic around, it makes all that goddamn noise.
I don't hear anything.
All right, I'm gonna go in and fix his audio settings to stop that shit. There. Now maybe it'll quit. We'll see. All right, there we go.
I think she's saying I'm not echoing. I don't know.
2 tabs maybe. His
I
mic
think it's only
sleeping.
when I'm wow.
No, he's not. And hey, Mary. Okay. All right. So the question is, do we look and sound okay? What the fuck has Jonezer got on? He's got on his cool kid glasses. Come on, man.
I'm just having fun. I am still echoing. Or is Bill echoing?
Is Bill echoing? Or shit, I throwed that at you and it sailed smooth over your fucking head. One more time.
Oh.
Is Bill echoing or is
Jonezer echoing, schmeckoing, heckoing. No, just Magist Jonezer. No Magist Jonezer. Echo. Bill is.
I'm echoing?
I'm confused.
Well, I stay confused, bro. Okay, well, it's time to see what's going on here. All right, so there's nothing playing. Go to the control room. Go to my audio settings here. Turn my voice isolation. Shall I turn my echo cancellation is on?
Is it time keeps on flying?
Just make sure I don't have two mics active.
I'm in the filter count by 3 sounds of it. The robot feature voice.
All right, I will do this then.
I got YouTube in the background, but it's muted.
Yeah, I don't have anything playing in the background, although I did have my sound turned up a little loud. How does it sound now, guys? Is the echo here still here? Tell me now.
Well, it was never you. It was only me.
Bill sounds fine. No, just Jones.
Am I the echo? Is it still there?
Well, I'm hoping is my mic picking you up, Joneser? Right. I mean, let's go now.
I don't know what I can do about that.
Well, it's not you, it's me. If my mic is picking you up off of my speaker, but I've turned the speaker down, so that might have stopped that.
Well, Mike says it sounds good now. You know, I was told that before. You know, it's not you, it's me, and that hurt me then, Bill, and it really doesn't feel that good now either, to be honest with you.
Oh, we'll feed this hug. All right. Now, just Joneser.
The junk man has noticed my glasses.
Is Junkie here? What's up, Junkie?
I saw that. He said that guy has some big orange glasses. He's just saying though, like, because you know they are kind of easy to miss.
Is YouTube in the background, or is it staggered by 1 second? No, I'm not playing YouTube background on anything that I have open.
Mikey was saying it's good. We'll just wait till they complain again. So
Yeah,
we were going to discuss some nonsense. Let's get to discussing.
Hey, Junkie says that guy has big orange sunglasses. Yeah, he does. Sounds good now. It's me. It's you. It's me. It's you. It's you. It's me. It's the song. Do we need a song? All good now. Move on, Bill.
No, well, we could do a song, but
sounds good to me. But I just got here. Okay, thanks, Junkie. Okay, Junkie says it's all good. I believe Junkie. Junkie got his
I believed everybody else too.
So good to see you there, Junkie. Let me refresh the chat here just a little bit. And what do you want to talk about tonight, Jones? We talked about so much shit, and we said that we were going to put it all on the back burner, and then we're going to bring it back up. And then you said we'll probably forget about it when we get in here. And damn if I didn't forget about it when we got in here. I'll start with X-Men, the cartoon series. Go.
X-Men 97, huh? I am really digging the series. I don't know if you've watched any of it, Bill, or if you, I mean, I guess this wasn't a staple of your childhood as much as it was probably of mine. But I am really digging the show. I do like the direction that it's going. We did talk about how a lot of the fans have been complaining about things in the show, which they're kind of just following the imprint of Chris Claremont's comic, but they're really kind of not, too. They're kind of messing with the history of the original show and kind of integrating it with some of those classic Chris Claremont X-Men stories, and then kind of putting their own little twist on them. You know, I do think the show's hitting its stride. I think it's very good, and I'm not seeing any of the nonsense that a lot of the internet fans are whining and crying about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm enjoying it.
Well, that was something that I was bringing up earlier. Was to me, it seems to like a lot of the bitching and moaning and whining and crying about the X-Men 97 cartoon show is from people who've never read the Chris Claremont run of the comic and don't understand that they're kind of following that blueprint right there.
Yeah, yes and no. I do think a lot of the whining and the complaining too is about things that are just kind of a non-factor. Like there was a lot of hoopla about Morph, which Morph has barely appeared in the show and barely had a few things to say, and there's not really been a whole lot of any kind of hoopla to be talked about. He's the And I don't know if they just like that he turned white or went albino or whatever, but you know, I'm enjoying the show. I'm not seeing anything weird about it.
Now, I haven't had a chance to watch it yet because I don't have the Disney Plus anymore. I got rid of that because I didn't want to pay for that. I wasn't using it that much. I loved the X-Men cartoon when I was a kid, and Morph didn't last long. I mean, this show's probably in the can for what, at least 2 seasons, right?
I believe so. I think they've even got a third one written out.
And, you know, while I wasn't an X-Men fan and I didn't read all those comics. I'm aware of them because I was a comic nerd. Just by hanging out in the comic shop, you kind of get this shit by osmosis, if you know what I mean. Glad I didn't get into X-Men. I have enough toy lines. Yeah, I get you. I understand. Really like.
And they got X-Men some of my money.
Okay, you know, we got fans of the X-Men cartoon show in here. Year one, I never watched it when it came out in '97 because I was busy doing other things. But as far as I can tell, the show is pretty close to what the original show was as far as animation goes. It's a little updated. Maybe what Rogue's ass isn't big enough for somebody, or she don't show enough titty. I don't know. What I don't know what's up with all that.
You know, quite honestly, I don't know if it was really all there that much in the original show, besides that one shot everybody remembers with her in front of Apocalypse, which has lived forever.
Well,
which very awesome shot.
There's a whole genre of YouTube channel out there. Its sole purpose is to sit and bitch and moan and complain about every pop culture thing that comes out. This ain't right. That ain't right. This is woke. That's broke. Whatever. And I think that in order for these guys to appease their constituents, that's what they have to do. Eldor's collecting the new '97 X-Men Marvel Legends. Good.
Oh, me too. And I'll say, I think I'll quote, I think it was Abraham Lincoln that said, you can please some of the nerds some of the time, or all of the nerds some of the time, but you can never please all of the nerds all of the time.
That's
I think
right.
That's kind of like, yeah, about right.
Same here. I mean, any channel that you watch, you're going to watch a dud, and you're going to watch a one that hits out of the park, and you're going to hit a so-so one. When you come over here, every once in a while we may hit one out of the park. Every once in a while maybe a so-so. Most of the time it's going to be a fucking dud because the production values over here are so fucking low, and the professionalism is just not here at all. But I mean, we do our best.
We are absolutely professional here, and I can't believe you could look me in the face and be serious when you say that we don't take this seriously.
Yeah,
you know,
I hear you. That Logan boy ain't right. I am. Yep.
You know, the thing is, Bill, and I grew up a Kiss fan. I don't know if you listened to Kiss music much growing up, but Kiss was kind of one of those bands where, like, you were either in it or you weren't in it. I never heard anyone go, "Oh, well, they were okay." You were either like a really big fan or you just couldn't stand them. And so I was used to like liking stuff that like maybe other people didn't like, and I just didn't care what they thought. I liked it, and that's it. And I don't need to care if you liked it or not. Quite honestly, I'd probably wipe my ass with what most people think. So it's like you can just like what you like, and you don't have to care, you know.
I think Grindhead Jim did a show about that recently, and some other toy tubers may have as well. Some people don't like that term, but hey, it is what it is. But do we all have to agree all the time? Do we have to live in an echo chamber? Do we have to excise those who don't believe the same thing we believe? I think it would be a very boring world to live in that echo chamber.
Well, we started this show in an echo chamber, if you remember right, Bill. And I actually am glad that we are out of the echo chamber now. But yeah, it is kind of one of those things, you know. I mean, is the world a great place? If I all think this is cool. You must think it's cool too, because I think it's cool, and I think this is lame. You have to all think it's lame because I think it's lame. And it's like, you know what? We can be different. We can be individuals. We can like things. You know, I mean, we were talking, like toy tubers, and people don't like that term, or other. And I'm not going to mention the channel we were discussing, but it's like, here's something that's probably going to make the entire chat gasp. I am not a fan of G.I. Joe. I don't care for it. It's not one of my things. I'm not into it. Do I have to go on a holy mission to make all of you guys dislike it too? And it's not that I dislike it. I'm just kind of, it's not my thing.
Well,
right
now you bring up the G.I. Joe. Am I a fan of G.I. Joe? Well, kind of. I collected the toys when I was a kid, and I enjoyed them. And I had a large collection of O-ring G.I. Joe vintage toys and vehicles. And I decided that I was going to give them away or trade them. So, and yeah, what, don't you have? I disagree. This late night show was better when Bill had biggins. Why did they withdraw? I have undescended one. Okay. I roll off the bull crap that was said to me, and it will bug me for a moment, and then I'm good after I bitch. Hey, it's the same with me, man. It's the same with me, and nothing wrong with that. Get it out of your system, and you move on. But as far as G.I. Joe goes, yeah, I let my O-ring collection go because I didn't need it. Am I collecting the G.I. Joe classifieds, I guess is what they call them? No, I'm really not. I got a couple of figures here for a reason. Pimp Daddy Destro, because that appeals to me because I'm that type of person, if you know what I mean. Did I think I was going to start getting into them a little bit with those retro cards? Yeah, kind of. I kind of would like to have that Scarlet figure, and kind of would like to have that Duke figure. Even had them pre-ordered there for a little while and took them off the pre-order before they could ever hit my damn pile of loot. But you know, I got to be picky and choosy about what I go for. Now, here's my gripe with the G.I. Joe community itself. They're the world's worst about telling you how you're supposed to play with your goddamn toys. You can't do G.I. Joe that way. Or you can't play with Action Force if you're going to play with G.I. Joe. Or the Action Force people are the opposite. You can't play with G.I. Joe toys with your Action Force. And I tell them all, y'all are a bunch of bullshit.
Well, so let me get this straight, Bill. Let me get this straight. So you had fun the wrong way?
Yeah, exactly. That's their fucking problem over in the G.I. Joe / Action Force community. And you know what? All of you guys that are fighting about G.I. Joe and Action Force, it's all the fucking same to me over here. They're toy soldiers. That's what they are. They're freaking toy soldiers. You're fighting over goddamn toy soldiers.
Right. Well, I mean, you're arguing about toys, and then we were talking about this, toy tuber thing, and some people don't like the being called that, or I think that's great. You can call me whatever you want. I wipe my ass with what most people. So it's fine, but I just find it funny because it's like, oh, you can't do that. You can't enjoy this. You can't play with this way. Or if you do this in your video, you're wrong. And if you do that, you're wrong. And it's like, I don't care. I'll do what I want, or I'll do none at all, or I'll just, it's my damn channel. And if you don't like it, don't watch it. In fact, most people don't anyway. So who gives a crap? You know what I mean? It's like, I'm having fun. I'm doing me. I'm wearing weird glasses. I'm talking smack. I can do whatever I want. You can't stop me.
I do what I want.
I do what I want.
No, you're supposed to say, you respect my authority.
Yeah. You know what? Screw you guys. I'm going home.
And that's the crux of it right there. If you like something, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But you don't have to fight about it.
Oh,
Need in there.
No, and here's the other thing too. Like I said earlier, I don't really care for G.I. Joe, right? It's not my thing. I'm not into it. But that doesn't mean I don't like watching people that do love it enjoy it. Like I loved watching, like Jared talking about GI Joes or Adam or whomever. That it's not that I care about the GI Joes. I enjoy my friends' passion for this. So that's what I like. And yeah, I'm not a fan of it. It's not my thing.
I watched the cartoons occasionally when I was a kid. I was more of a fan of the comic books than I was anything else. The only reason I bought the figures in the first place was because I wanted the figures that I saw in the comic book.
I have a few of the comic books and I watched the cartoon and I had a few of the toys, but like it wasn't like Motu to me where like I named my whole YouTube channel after it and like it was my whole life. Like I was totally all about Motu, whereas like G.I. Joe, I could take it or leave it. It was kind of the same for me with like Thundercats or Transformers. It just kind of wasn't my jam, But I mean, you get me into Ghostbusters or Ninja Turtles or Dick Tracy, I'd talk your ear off. That was my stuff. But I think we all had our things that was like we were really into, and then we had our other things. It was like we were aware of them. Might have had a figure or two, but that wasn't my thing.
Well, one of the things I like to do is I like to watch the people I like with the things that they like. So, if I pop in your chats when you're having a toy channel live stream or whatever, I'm there for you more than I am the toys that you're playing with. Now, I don't care how you play with them. If you don't ever open them and you just want to display them on the shelf, that's fine. I don't give a shit. It's not my toys.
Yeah, you touched on another thing, Bill. There's the in-card collectors, and then there's the openers. And then there's people that do the in-card thing. They'll tell you that you're wrong to open it, that you killed the value, or for whatever reason they think it bleeds in there. And then the other people, or the openers, they're like, oh, it needs to be let out of its plastic prison, and you can't, and both will say the other's wrong. And you know what? I do a little of both. I've got some I keep on card, and I got some that opened up and messed around with, and both is okay, both is good. I can do both.
One of the reasons why I created this channel in the first place was not to be, I guess, a toy news channel, or to be what was it, the talking head channel where we just sit and discuss toys all day long or something like that. I created this channel so that I could showcase my toys in different and odd ways, weird, fantastic ways, if you will, showing them doing maybe acting out an old comic book or an old mini comic, or doing an entirely new skit that came up out of my mind with the toys playing together, or sometimes even music videos with.
Or they could be singing sea shanties or doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
That is correct.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to be honest. I started my channel and it was just kind of like the totally unoriginal, like Pixel Dan thing. Like I opened up the toys, we did comparison time. I was just total creatively dead. And the only thing I had to offer in my reviews or what I did was just giving you my perspective or my memories that I had of them when I was a kid. And so I tried to lean into that. But I'll have to be honest with you, after a while, toy reviews got really, it started to feel like work. And so then I just didn't want to do them anymore. And for the last, I'd say 3 to 6 months, I don't know if I've done many toy reviews or really any at all. And I've just kind of just bought the toys I wanted and just opened them up off camera, and just enjoyed them for me. And, and I found myself doing that. I had this big pile of toys behind me. Oh, I can't open that, even though I want to open that because I have to do a video. Well, I don't want to do a video. I want to open it.
Well, a lot of my openings happen on camera, true, but some of them don't. Hell, I opened a whole shitload of these damn mini brands the other day off camera, and I still got a whole nother box of them over here to open. And maybe I'll open them on camera, maybe I won't. I don't know who cares about mini brands, but I do because I like the little action figure fodder to use in scenes and stuff like that. Let me get into this chat just a little bit. Does Adam like Ghostbusters? Jeff asked the Radical Mom, and Radical Mom can't answer that question. Well, I'll answer for him. I know he's into Ghostbusters because he's making videos about them, and he's like, this looks cool. I like the cartoon. Yes, I'm gonna say he did. Yeah.
Adam's one of those cats. I hate to cut in here, but I got to. While this is iron's hot here. Adam's one of those cats that I've talked to many times in many hours off camera about stuff that we probably should have recorded or had on. We had some great discussions, and one of the things we discussed at length was Ghostbusters. We're both big fans.
And Mike Fee says, my channel is whatever, mostly just a hangout. That's correct, and there's nothing wrong with that. We've done that a lot over here, and a lot of what our live streams are at night are more about the chat than they are about us sitting here running our mouths. Those are great mini brands. I just bought some. Hey, cool. And Rolando Flores does toy hunts. He does. And if you haven't watched any of his toy hunts, then you missed out. That's some cool stuff, man. Adam and Christina are going to watch the new movie tonight. They haven't seen it. Okay. I haven't seen the new Ghostbusters movie either. I think I'm kind of waiting for it to show up on Fandango or whatever that damn thing is, and I might watch it then. I don't go to the movie theater anymore. It's not necessarily because of any particular reason except monetary. I'd rather spend maybe between $10 and $20 here at the house than to spend $100+ bucks at a goddamn movie theater and sit in there with motherfuckers coughing and on their fucking cell phone and doing God knows what in the aisle next to me and just fucking.
Well, you didn't cut the hole in the popcorn bucket when you were on a date either, Bill?
No.
Good trick.
No, I'm not. No.
Good trick. You get the extra butter so it's nice and slippery.
No, no, not into all of that. But I'm sitting there to watch the movie, not to get into all that extracurricular activity inside the movie theater. Nor do I want to see others doing that. Furiosa will be the first time in 3 years I've been in the cinema. Just dog shit in there these days. I'm kind of looking forward to Furiosa. Have you seen the trailer for that?
I have not.
Do you know what it is?
I do not.
Okay, it is a continuation of the Mad Max. It's kind of a prequel to the last Mad Max.
I did see the trailer to this. That did look cool.
I mean, I don't think Mad Max is going to be in. I think it's going to be an origin story for Furiosa herself. The main thing I'm looking forward to is Moten Joe. I mean, I kind of like Moten Joe.
I'm trying to think of the last movie I went to the theater to see, and I'm really drawing a big blank. I want to say it might have been Batman with Robert Pattinson. I think I went to that, and that was like probably an hour too long and just wasn't. I mean, it was okay, I guess, because it's Batman and it had its moments, but I think half that movie was just him walking in the rain with a little like wah, and he's just going in slow motion. The rain's going.
I'm going to ask you a question, Jonezer. All right, did you watch the Joker movie?
I did.
Like it?
I did.
What do you
actually liked it more than I liked that Robert Pattinson Batman, I'll be honest with you.
Same here. And I didn't care that it didn't have Batman. And I didn't care that it wasn't the Joker from the comics. It was a fun story with a Joker-like character in it that it worked. It just did. I can't explain why. Now, what do you think about this sequel that they're doing with that, what's her name, singer in it as Harley Quinn? It's not gonna.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I'm one of those people, Bill, that I'm gonna reserve judgment until I actually see the movie. But yeah, I know the fans have got rabid for it. You know, the fans honestly usually don't know shit. Like, they all thought Heath Ledger was going to suck, and he didn't. They all thought Michael Keaton was going to be bad, and he wasn't. And, you know, sometimes they're right. They thought Ben Affleck was going to be terrible, and he was. So it's like, you know, there's I don't know. It's to each his own. Some people liked these versions, and some people hated them too. It goes right back to what we were talking about before, where everybody has their own opinion, you know. But I'm going to reserve judgment until I see the movie.
Mm. Yeah, we're kind of on the subject of movies now. One movie that I'm really looking forward to now. Preface this just a second, there, Joneser. So Marvel movies have continued to suck all from mid part of last year all the way up until now. They've been losing money at the movie theater, sucking buttholes. Going back to the Captain America movie, will they ever make that? I don't know, because I don't even think they have a shooting script for it. I think all they're doing is just shooting action scenes over and over again against a green screen as they rewrite the script over and over again.
That's never a good sign.
No, it's not. And the direction that it's been going in has been in the wrong direction for quite some time now, and I don't know if there's any way to right that ship. However, I did see a little bit of an anomaly in that maybe there is going to be a Marvel movie that makes a little bit of money, and that's going to be that new Wolverine and
Deadpool. Yeah, that looks
movie.
good.
Yeah,
I am excited for that. That definitely, and I'll tell you what, that is going to be a breath of fresh air. And I'm going to offend some people here, and again, I don't give a crap. It's been the MCU for a little while, and it seems like they're just going to keep leaning into that, because it sounds like the next X-Men movie, they're talking about focusing on the female characters. Wow, surprise. And then now we're going into Fantastic Four, and the cast of Silver Surfer is going to be a girl. What? Why? So I don't get it. I almost wonder if they're just so disconnected that they don't understand that the fans don't want this crap. But anyways, here we go, and we're going to get Deadpool and Wolverine, and you got to know that Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool is just going to mercilessly tear apart all these bad decisions and things that they have been doing over the last couple of years. I can't wait to hear this banter of him just annihilating it, and while being successful while doing it. And Disney's going to hate him for it, because he's going to be right about all of it, and the fans are going to love him.
You know, I was looking at my Facebook news feed today between cycles on the team, and I didn't get to read the whole article, but I kind of got the gist of it by reading, you know, kind of the blurbs. Apparently, Hugh Jackman has been quoted as saying that the Wolverine suit that he's wearing in this movie not only looked right, but it felt right.
I'm sure this is going to be just because here's the thing: you don't usually get a second chance in Hollywood. If you come out and you screw something up, well, then that's it. It's dead right there. And that's exactly what they did. If you saw that piece of crap Wolverine Origins, where they had Hugh Jackman and Ryan, a lot of people forget this is not the first time these two were on a movie together as Wolverine and Deadpool. This is going to be the second time they're on it. And that first one was so forgettable and so awful and so horrible and so terribly done that you didn't think they'd ever touch Deadpool with a 10-foot pole again. And Ryan Reynolds, by some miracle, got a second chance to do this character again the right way. And what do you know? It was a smash. I mean, that first Deadpool movie was great. Even my wife liked it, and my wife hates this shit, you know. And she even wanted, it was her idea to go to the movies and see the second one, you know what I mean? And it's like he smashed it. He smashed it out of the park. You never get a second chance to do that. So it's a miracle in itself. And then for them to get Hugh Jackman and get a second chance to do this again, I mean, this is, who would have thought?
All right, so Johnny Sorensen said Deadpool 3 not being R-rated, Mike, fuck it. How can they make a Deadpool movie that isn't R-rated? I think it's going to be R-rated, brother.
It has to be R-rated. They're not going to R-rate it?
I don't know.
Is that confirmed?
I don't know. I'm looking at what Johnny said. It's not that I disagree with Johnny. I don't know where he's getting his information from. But I know for a fact that the damn trailer was R-rated. How can the trailer be R-rated if the movie isn't R-rated?
I don't know. I
Was
am
Ryan Reynolds
reading
Green
the
Lantern? Yes,
comments
he
here.
was, Mike Fee. Yes, Ryan Reynolds played Green Lantern. That movie wasn't as bad
Yeah.
as they made it out to be.
I was just about to say that, Bill. I think that movie gets a bad rap. I actually enjoyed that Green Lantern and was really hoping for that sequel that we'll never get from it. They really set that up for the part 2 with Sinestro getting the yellow ring at the very end. And we just didn't get it.
All right, here's the thing with Marvel and Disney and why the movies are going in the direction they're going in now. Of course, we're entering into opinion territory. Take all this with a grain of fucking salt or a big ass fucking spoon of it. I don't give a shit. Sue Studio in here with a $1.49 super chat. Thank you, Sue Studio. And it looks like it's a super sticker of a little umbrella on the beach. Here's the thing with the direction the Marvel movies are going in. All right, if I'm not mistaken, the comics went in this direction for just a little while until nobody started buying them anymore, and they said, "Oh, we can't do this. This is not working. Let's shift gears." Too late. Disney had already put all these movies into production back when that shit started. So here we go. Thank you for the super chat, Sue Studio. There it is, right there, donated through super chat, $1.49. Thank you so much, Sue. But anyway, so these movies go into production 4 or 5 years before they ever hit the screen. Sometimes longer. So and once that truck gets rolling, once that train gets rolling down the tracks, I don't care what you throw in front of it, it's just going to smash right on through it. It's got to go to the end. Too much money has been sunk into it. Too much film is in the can. It's already done. And so those movies were already rolling down the tracks when the comics shifted gears, because it's real easy to shift gears in the comics, right? Fire the writer, hire another one, get a new artist. By the next month,
reset the entire universe.
Yeah, it ain't that way with movies, Jack. So they decided to go down the route the comics were going down at that time. Well, the comics did a little shift, but the movies they can't do that. They've got to continue going right where they were going. That's my opinion. I think that's why it's doing what it's doing. And do I think they can fix that? They probably could. But I don't think that. I think they would lose them even more money than they're already losing by doing that. You know, it's going to go where it goes.
I see Johnny brings up about the Batgirl movie, and I'd have to say that was pretty much files under like insurance scam, I would say, because they knew they had a piece of crap there, and that if it ever 1 second of it ever saw the light of day, they couldn't file the insurance and get the money back they spent on that, what was probably going to be a steaming pile of crap.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like that ash can comic that you hear about. It was never meant to go to the printers. The only reason it was there was to hold the copyright and to hold a position.
Well, Warren Beatty did this for years. Watch some of these freaking Warren Beatty, Dick Tracy specials where he's appearing and talking to Dick Tracy, and he appears as Dick Tracy, and they just, like you say, it's a placeholder.
Once again, you're echoing. I'm going to turn my mic off, and then you continue to talk, and then Studio, you tell me if he's echoing.
Am I still echoing? Schmeckoing? Am I here? Are you there? Is anybody in there? Just smile if you can hear me. Is there anyone at home? Watch out. No? Yeah, maybe. As we're waiting for the answer. No echo, we're not echoing.
Now, is he echoing now?
Now, am I echoing with Bill's mic on? Bill's mic is on now, so am I echoing? Hello, hello, studio. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Here's the thing. The only way that we can stop this is to put Mickey Mouse ears on, and we not doing that. Yes.
Got to be the Bill mic. That's we've nailed it.
All right. I've done everything I can to isolate that. The only other thing I can do is to turn my mic down. One other thing I can try. Where is that setting at? Here it is. Where is it at on the phone? There it is. All right.
It's not that bad. Who gives a shit? Just keep going. Rolling. Mowing. No.
All right. I'm going to shotgun the fucking mic and see if that does it. It's shotgunning straight at me now. Hopefully that'll stop it. It's not that bad. Who gives a shit? Just keep going. Thank you, Johnny. Skeleton.
Roll it. Roll it.
All right. I set up some sets of music here for us tonight, and I think it's about time to hit one of them. What do you think, John?
Old, mold, gold.
All right. What do we got here? We got nostalgic adventures. Let's go into that. All right, guys. Here we go. Some music and fun, and we'll be right back.
building crumbled. I'm not sure if it's safe to report from my vantage point. I really need to leave. Civil Defense has informed me that the surrounding areas are in ruin. I see some people running now. In the opinion of this reporter, if this nation, or in fact the world, ever needed heroes, that time is now. That time is now.
Alright, now I'm going to try to get Johnny in here. Now, he's not showing up on the screen right now, so that means I'm going to have to go down there. Oh, there he is. Hey, Johnny Sorensen in the house tonight. Hey, what's up, Johnny?
Where's Trent? Oh, man, it's like, it's so soon anyway. I'm like, when do I hear I'm normal? I'm like, back here, while your one is making me gigantic.
All right.
I think I can fix that. Let me see.
Yeah, no, I'm sitting like a meter back from the computer.
Stay still.
It's blowing out to about 10 times the size.
I think I had fixed this because of when John was in here the other day. So what I need to do is to go into here and yes.
Well, here, just so John is not self-conscious here, I'm gonna help him out. Now, when they fix him, I'll be honest.
Now you're gonna zoom.
I did it on purpose.
How's that, Johnny?
Moon face, man.
I didn't want you to feel bad. So.
Quit fucking with your camera, Jones.
Yeah, that's normal now. That's like what I see pretty much on my screen here. Just reversed.
Yeah,
I just wanted to join. I
had John from Figuratively Speaking on here the last time I did this. I'm done complaining now. What was you complaining about? I want a Green Lantern figure. Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, I had John in here, and John, for some reason, he doesn't understand the difference. I'm picking on you, John. Now he doesn't understand the difference between landscape and not landscape when he's using his camera. And then when he gets into this mode, he can't figure out how to get it into this mode here. And so basically, I have to resize his screen so that he fits properly into my pre-made boxes. So I had to reset that because I have this already set up in OBS, so I don't have to keep reinventing the wheel, and I can bring somebody in on the fly like this, which is the first time we've ever done this, I think, Jones, or just on the fly like this.
Sorry, I didn't know. I thought you'd done it before.
The first time since I've been on with you with the new setup, but I think it's cool when we are put to the task and get to try things. Even if we echo, schmecko, becko, now we can three-way echo.
Yeah, whatever.
If it's doing that bad, tell us, because I've got headphones I can chuck somewhere.
it ain't you. It's me. I'm the one that has to put the freaking headphones on. You guys are just fine. Now there's another way I could do this. It might eliminate some of it, but that it's still. I'd rather do it like this. And of course, if I need to change the settings a little bit more and turn my computer down a little bit more as far as sound goes, I can certainly do that. I can reposition my mic. Or I can set it over here to the side.
Get a V8 in that computer and take it out to the wasteland.
Now, can you guys still hear me? Am I still loud?
My buddy Nowhere Down jumped in here. That's what I'm saying. I hear you just fine.
Hey, what's up, Nowhere Down? Good to see you.
Loud and clear, sir.
All right, good. I have another question. Has anyone heard from our friend Rolo? Okay, the last thing I ever heard from Rolo was this is the last time you'll hear from me super chat that he gave me at the beginning of the year, if you remember that.
I do remember that. That was an emotional moment. I do remember that.
Yeah. All right. Last time I talked to him was when you were with us.
That's the last time I heard anything. January, February on your show.
Yeah. Like I said, the last time I talked to him, we had a members only chat, and you were in there with him, Joe. And yeah, that's the last chance we had to talk to him. And that's it. I mean, the last I heard from him was he wanted to go home to Germany, and I hope he did. He's still on. His membership is still active. I figure when his membership goes inactive, as far as his channel goes, that'd be it for him. All right, Johnny, you got the floor, buddy.
I don't have a whole lot to say. I just sort of hang out with you guys just for a little bit. It's all right.
I'm sorry. Let me get the ducks off the screen.
And when you're talking about those.
Sorry about that, Mike. Thanks for telling me. Go ahead. Sorry.
When you're talking about those Marvel movies, and I was thinking, I haven't been to the movies in a couple of years now. And like back in the 90s, I can remember 1994, I went to the movies 52 times. That was every week, and it was like $5. And in recent years, it's been less and less and less. And since those bloody Marvel Endgame and that, there's been so much just crap films. I mean, there's been crap, genuine films as well as superhero films. So Furiosa and Deadpool 3 will be the only things that interest me in 2-3 years at the cinema. But I'm really hoping they don't stuff up that Deadpool 3. That's been the one film I'm going, they won't stuff that up. They've done 2 that were decent. How could they possibly stuff it? Disney's getting their sticky fingers in it through, like just like how Sony and Marvel did that Spider-Man deal with the rights back and forth. Sony still had the Spider-Man rights, but they loaned them over to be in other movies. Just like that sort of business behind the scenes. That's what they've been doing. So it's talked about in several movie podcasts in recent months. Sorry.
Right. No, and that's the problem here. Is I think we've just been kind of oversaturated with the superhero genre, and I can't believe I'm saying this, being a comic book guy. I mean, I've been waiting.
It's dead to me.
Well, and I've been waiting for this my whole life. I've suffered through, David Hasselhoff, Nick Fury, and I went through Roger Corman, Fantastic Four, and I wanted it, and yeah, those look great in comparison to the crap they're putting out now.
Y'all continue to talk. I'm fixing to put a overlay.
Johnny, they're thinking you're a British guy. This is an Australian accent. Yeah,
from Australia, mate. But I was born in New Zealand, where you get fish and chops for 66 cents, mate.
Yes. Oh, okay. I just wanted to let everybody in the chat know he ain't no limey. Dang it.
No, that's hilarious. I'm sure some British people will probably take offence the way we talk in Australia.
Everybody takes offence at anything I say anyways. I still say
I'll take your fence, I'll take your house, I'll take anything, mate. It's not nailed down.
Right. Exactly. You know, and that's the thing. Me and Bill had talked about this a little bit off camera, but I wanted to get into this a little bit with you here. Do you think people are just too soft nowadays?
Fuck yes.
You know, I mean, it's like everybody gets offended over every little bitty thing. People are
I
almost
remember
afraid to
being
talk.
relentlessly teased in school. I was underweight and skinny. I mean, I'm still skinny now, but I've got, healthy muscles and that. But when I was a kid, people actually used to tease me and call me skeletal, as in from He-Man, because I was actually underweight and really badly and not good health, really. And all sorts of other shit. And as horrible as it was, all that, I don't know, years of psychological abuse and bullying, it makes you a bit more resilient as an adult.
It absolutely does. You know, I remember being picked on in school quite a bit, and I was meek and scared, and it took quite a bit of needling until I finally would stick up for myself. And actually, you know, I hate to advocate for violence here, but I started smacking some of these kids in the mouth, and it was kind of funny. Then they'd stop picking on you. And
yeah, I wish I had, because it would have stopped a lot of crap. Like in my 20s when I did martial arts and that, and I'm not a particularly large person. I'm tall, but I'm thin, but I can certainly throw a punch or slam a thing or sweep the leg, Karate Kid style. And I never want to hurt anyone, but if someone doesn't want to fuck with me, I've always got the confidence I can walk away, or if you're going to tangle with me, I'm going to pop you in the fucking face and take you down the ground pretty quick.
Right. And the thing I meant for, like, I'm not advocating violence either with my ethic, but it taught me to be an advocate for myself, stick up for myself.
Yeah, and for other people too.
Right, and for other people too, because anytime I'd seen someone getting picked on or bullied or being made to feel a certain way, I'd be like, hey, it's advocate or stick up for someone, and it's kind of funny because the world can be a little mean spirit, especially if you're going to put content out on the idiot net, the internet, and stick your face out there and stick your life out there. People are going to troll or comment or say negative things and come in and get at you.
We've all done it. I'm guilty. We've all done it.
Right. All in the name of good fun. But at the same time, I think people always get a little too, I don't know. You got to just learn to say F you back and move on.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I swear at people daily in the traffic here it's like fucking Mad Max here on the road. You think I'm joking, but it's not. People are the worst drivers in the world in Perth. But like online, like pop culture shit, I don't care. I've never cared. People make fun of any of that stuff. And as far as other social things online, I don't go into anything to do with religion or politics, as in like groups or people. I stay right away from that because it's just a powder keg of stuff. If people want to talk offline in the real world and have an actual conversation, that's different. But like, there's a lot of online shit where it's just nonsense, just time wasting crap.
Agreed. And the thing is, especially when you get into the politics, you always get the people like, I'm going to convert this hardcore left-wing person to be a hardcore right-wing person, or I'm going to convert this hardcore right-wing person to be... No, you're not.
I'm going to convert Jonezer to Kai Judaism.
Right. No, you're not. These people are in their camps, and they're going to stay in their camps. Now, you did touch on that sometimes you can have a reasonable conversation with somebody where you could debate your point, and they can debate their point, and you might be able to have some kind of agreement, but that's as rare as a freaking Bigfoot sighting. I mean, they're going to see that.
It's very rare that you'll find somebody that will actually.
I listen to some different talks, but to get other people's points of view, I don't want to sit and argue with them. So I don't care.
No.
Well,
there's a difference between having a discussion and having an argument.
Hey.
Well, I'll say this: I'm an old school interneter. I've been around since the mid '90s, maybe even earlier than that. Back in the days of the news groups. And I can tell you right now that it was a shit show then, it's a shit show now. And back in those days, those sons of bitches that were talking to us, we didn't even think they were real. Sometimes I don't even think they're real now. They want to yell at
right.
me.
And we even got a guy in here moderating. His name's Nightbot. He's doing a good job, but Nightbot, I always say hi to him in the comments. He never says hi back.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. I'm gonna get rid of him one. I meant to turn him off tonight. He gets on my nerves. He's always telling people about where to go to patronize me. Look at my blog.
That's a cute icon, though.
Yeah, I'll give him that. I'll give him that. He's got the cute icon. You know what I mean? Johnny is dabbling in the AIs here. And now he's got Bill. You're fine. I was just saying that Johnny was dabbling in the AIs, and then you got Bill dabbling in the AIs here. I
got put back by the AI. It came to get me, man, when I was asleep.
I've been fighting the urge and trying not to go down this rabbit hole because I've wanted to ask, like, what are you using to make these voices and stuff like that? But I think I'm gonna, do my best to just do my own. But that's an interesting thing to get into here with these voices. Is are we getting into some legal stuff, or what?
Oh, for sure. It's definitely a legal and ethical thing that, like, I think if you're an actual paid actor or something in Hollywood, you should absolutely stand up to the bloody studios and other crap who are trying to, like, take your money away from you and make computer-generated extras and backgrounds, not get you in for ADR, not get you in for reshoots. That's a big union sort of thing people have got to fight. I don't think you should be fighting against individual YouTubers just fucking around making gags between us. We're not hurting anyone.
We're not getting paid to do it either.
I was going to.
Yeah, I'm not getting paid either. I'm not taking money away from anyone.
I was going to answer Jonezer. There's a couple of sites out there, and me and Johnny have been using two different ones, and I'm looking into the one you were using there, Johnny, as well. But the thing is, it's like drugs. It's like drugs, and Johnny can probably back me up on it. It's like drugs. They'll give you a taste of it, but then you got to pay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a paid version since last December for about $20 bucks, $30 a month.
Yeah, and I'm paying $5 a month for the one I'm using over there, and they give you like 10 clones. Once
they banned me now, though.
You got to buy another clone for another $3.99 or some shit. So
like I was paying about $30 a month. I could make up to 30 voice clones and use the stock voices. But now they removed me from the site and they didn't even tell me why. They just went, your account was just disabled and went to use it this week after 3 or 4 months of using it.
Do they think that you abused it or you did something wrong?
Oh, well, no, I didn't do anything explicitly. I've been using it for 4 months, doing the same shit, different day. But every time you make any voice clone on there, you've got to tick a little box. And this is like ticking a box on a piece of software on your computer or a phone contract. It's like, read all this. Do I have the rights to do blah, blah, blah? No, you don't. No one has the rights to do fucking anything. The companies that make anything own the rights. We don't own shit. So anytime you tick anything, any company that's made that contract can void something if they want to and just say, fuck you, go away, we'll take your money, bye.
Well, it's like this, all right, and I looked into it as well because I actually read that bullshit. So we're using what's known as celebrity voices or real people voices to make these clones so that we can... Yeah,
that's the issue. The celebrity is the issue, but any person that you don't have written permission of, but there is no legal precedent having written permission. If you're not, I'm not a film studio, are you? Have you got a lawyer sitting around to draft a contract? Because I've cloned Bill's voice and I didn't ask your permission, but so far Bill hasn't sued me or tried to punch me below the belt.
Now, I thought it was funny,
yeah.
And of course Jonezer did too. I mean, you did him too. It was funny as hell, and it worked.
Yeah.
But
and I did it privately in our chats before I put it anywhere else. So it was only for a laugh,
Yeah.
My son and me watched that together, and my son was like, "Dad, when did you record this?" I'm like, I didn't.
Yeah, it was apparently trained on quite a lot of good American voices and accents, and it does like the southern ones quite well, but it wouldn't do good New Zealand or Irish or Australian voices. It was mostly American and British it's been trained on.
The one I got claims to be able to do Cockney voices and claims to be able to do Irish and Scottish. And of course, Boba Hicks is the voice that I throwed in there, and it maybe.
I did one of his months ago, and it completely removed his accent, but it sounded like him with no accents. If he was speaking in accentless English, it's like it was really strange.
Wow, that would be weird.
But it was useless for anything.
Yeah, and right now I'm at odds with the one I'm using because they wanted to charge my card about 4 times, and I only wanted to buy one voice. I got the voice, but they're still trying to cheat. They keep trying to charge the card for the other 3 that I didn't want, and it's not going to go through because my card's not going to let it go. So they keep sending me fucked up email. We tried to charge your card and it was denied. Please respond. I responded. I said, give me the billing department so I can tell them what's going on. So I got an email from them from someone with a Hindu-sounding name. No offense. I'm just telling you the truth here. How may I help you?
Hello, I'm here to help you for your AI. I am Hobby GB.
Exactly. So you know.
Jones's AI Hindu voice client.
So I answered the email and I told them exactly what was going on. And by God, today at 12 noon, I got to know, here's our 3rd attempt. Come on, people. I took the card off of there. Yeah, I took the card off there. So there's no card under my name on the site, so they can't charge me again. I'm probably going to lose the account over there because of this, but I'm not going to have that shit. All of this shit is kind of iffy anyway. And Johnny probably agree with me. These sites are kind of a little bit shady. Don't you think, Johnny?
They're opportunistic. I mean, I've worked in aged care and disability care for about 15 years, and there's the companies at the top who are reputable and established, and there's companies you call fly-by-night, so they're just there to grab a buck, and who knows how long they'll be around. And even if they own the software they're using or just using it from somewhere else.
Fly-by-night, so that's like the here today, gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
You don't know where they came from or where they're going or how long.
Yeah, exactly.
Or where they're even located. That's the other thing. Where are they even located?
No idea.
And when they,
I don't want to clamp down on me making Samuel Jackson and Jerry Lawler voice clients.
You got your money back, Johnny, but tell them when they canceled your account, they wanted to keep all your goddamn money too, didn't they?
Yeah, well, they didn't. I had to. All I got was an email saying your account has been suspended, and that was it. No reason, no anything. I went to log into it the other day, and I just couldn't log in. The actual login and account had been deleted and was gone. And all I saw was an email, and I did write to that. And about 3 days later, they did refund me, but they should have done that automatically. I had to write to them, ask them, say, by the way, you guys, I've paid you. You're legally obligated to refund for services you haven't provided because you've removed my account. I didn't remove it.
Right. But I mean, if they're illegitimate to begin with.
I think they're okay. I mean, Largo's used the 11 Labs one since last year sometime, so I think they're fine, but I'm just generalizing and saying I don't know where they're located. Right. It's just a very simple text front end. There's not really logos. It's all plain text. They could be anywhere and anybody. There could be bloody Max Headroom in a warehouse. I don't know.
That might be exactly who it is. Max Headroom.
I'm still monkeying with the font.
Bill wasn't moving for so long. I thought he was froze.
Oh well, I'm monkeying around.
It's frozen piece. He enjoys them so much.
Freeze a little bit. My camera wants to be rebooted. What do we got there, Mike? Johnny Sorensen's YouTube channel. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that, man.
Oh, thanks, Mike. That's very kind of you.
There's
less stuff on there now. There used to be about 300 videos. Now there's 45 because I delisted a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and there's some stuff over there I want to try to grab that's delisted. Somehow I'm going to have to get access to stuff.
Well, it's still on there. It's just delisted, so I can still send you a direct link to anything you want. Or if there's a specific thing you want to get a copy or clip of, tell me and I can download it and then email you the file directly, so you can just grab the file and muck around.
Yeah, there was one.
I do have to say, when we were watching the one video you did, Johnny, where you were doing my voice, and my son and I are on the couch there, and when it got to the one where it had Hulk Hogan and I was talking to Hulk Hogan, And the first thing I say to him is, well, Hogan, I've always liked Macho Man better than you. Oh, my God. Me and my boy just fell off the couch like, ah.
Oh, yeah.
Don the Barber, good to see you, sir. Says good stuff. Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing the best I can with what I got to work with here. I'm still every time I go in to change the font on Johnny's name here and move it around a little bit, it's gonna make me freeze up. So you guys continue to talk while I mess around.
And I make up all the silly lines for those Bill and Jonezer videos, but I don't know if you remember, Jonezer, there was actually a quote you'd said something like that around that time on a show in that month, and I quoted you because I liked it so much I put it in there, and you just said it all off the cuff. It's like, oh, I like Macho Man better. I'm going to use that.
Yeah, no, I did remember, and it was funny because I'm like, did he just steal it from the show, or how did he get that?
Yeah, I was watching it that week and I remember it.
Oh, it's so funny. And yeah, that was true.
I just say it so casually, straight to Hogan's face, like, oh, I like Macho Man, but like, you're just some guy off the street. Who cares? You're not famous. You're nobody.
Right. But what was funny is at the time, I was probably third or fourth grade, and Hogan was, the bee's knees, especially,
Yeah.
I don't know if he got on as big where you were as he did in America, but in America, he was the real American. And he was the big hero, and everybody was into him. And I was kind of the other guy who was like, I like Macho Man. And at the time, Macho Man was the bad guy. He was like hiding behind the skirt of Elizabeth, and he was doing all the cowardly things. And I guess even as a kid, I always preferred the heel wrestlers.
Yeah, I like the heels.
It was odd for a fourth grader to go that direction and be like, oh, I'm digging Macho Man, I'm digging $1 Million Man, I'm digging King Kong.
Ric Flair, he's been heel and face, of course.
Right. Yeah, depending on where you are in his career, he's done it both ways. And what's funny is Flair it's still Flair, whether he's heel or babyface. He's not that different.
No.
Oh,
it's similar to the Bret Hart thing. When he's in his local territory, he's always face, but when he's in other territories, he's more often heel.
Did you say Bret Hart?
I said the Ric Flair thing is similar to Bret Hart, where it would always be like a face in his home territory, like Carolina, and then Bret Hart in Canada. But when they went to the other territories or other countries, that sometimes would be different.
I do think that they tapped into something ingenious with Bret Hart in the 90s when they did the bit where he was a hero everywhere else in the world except America.
Yeah.
And that was genius. And I remember because I was a huge Bret Hart fan. And when he came back from that WrestleMania, and he was doing the whole I'd like to thank all my fans in Canada. And I'd like to thank all my fans in England. And I'd like to thank all my fans in Australia. And I'd like to thank all my fans in Africa. And we're like, hey, buddy. Hey, forgetting somebody here? And that was so great. Because
I was rewatching some of that recently, and I love because for Bret Hart, he becomes heel to the audience in that later 90s period, but for him, in his mind, he's still the good guy. It's the Americans, the audience, who turn into assholes, not him.
Well, and in a way, he had a good argument for that because he didn't change who he was. He was still acting the same way. And it was really more in a way you could see how he saw that the audience turned on him. He didn't turn on them, but it was kind of funny. But I mean, my buddy, he never liked Bret Hart, so he was always like, he's just a crybaby. Every time he loses, he just complains it's somebody else's fault, and it's never his fault. But you got a point with that too.
Yeah, but I always like the heels, man. Like Slaughter, Iron Sheik. I mean, Ric Flair, who's been both, and DiBiase, Ted, of course. I always love the heels.
Well,
I don't know how much of the territory stuff you got to see where you were, but they had some good heels out there. Gino Hernandez, and You know, I mean, they had some really good heels that didn't get a lot of national exposure with either the WCW or WWF, but
well, they had
worldwide.
in the 70s in Australia and Channel 9, they used to have some wrestling, which I never saw because this was before I was born. But they had some wrestling there, which was Australian wrestlers, and they would have guests too, like Andre the Giant toured here a few times, and have other guests comes in, and that was started by, I think it was Jim Barnett, was the guy that came out here from the southern states. He actually came out here and started that with another local guy here.
Yeah, Barnett was a big promoter. Was he the Carolinas, Bill? Was that Barnett?
He stumped me on that one, Jonezer. I'm all into Mid-South wrestling and also Continental, that CWA up there in Memphis. And you were talking about heels that were up there in that area.
Okay, so
I had Dutch Mantell up here on the screen. Of course, he called Zeb Coulter over there for a little while in WWE. The classic Dutch Mantell was a heel. He came to the ring with a bullwhip, for Christ's sake. And he would come out there and he would work the crowd and usually get his ass whooped in the ring in the end. But then occasionally would win. But it's not necessarily that he was a jobber, but he was there to do a specific thing, and that was to work that crowd. And he had the ability to do that. And I like Dutch Mantell. We got the chat rolling.
Yeah,
there,
you can really appreciate what they're pulling off. I mean, I remember when they had this up and comer guy. His name was The Rock, and at the time they didn't call him The Rock. He was Rocky Maivia, and he was kind of a nobody in a way, mid Carter at best. And the crowd would constantly, Rocky sucks, and he was supposed to be a good guy, and then the crowd just hated him, and so then he became kind of a nobody for a little while. And I knew the moment he made it, or when he turned the corner, they did some kind of thing where they were interviewing the wrestlers about political things and about world events and kind of things like that. And one of the things they asked them is about the homeless situation in America. And I'll never forget, he didn't answer the question seriously. He answered the question in character like a wrestler. And he says, The Rock doesn't really give a damn about the homeless people of America as long as they keep their little shabby cardboard boxes off the rock, freshly cut grass. And I was like, you nailed it. He nailed the assignment,
Yeah. It's like, listen up, you piece of trash.
Right. Rock won't have to go out into his lawn and whip their shabby little ass,
One of the signs of a very, very good heel wrestler is one that can cut a promo like that.
Absolutely. And when they can seize the moment, because they set him up for that, and he could have just said, well, as a human being, I greatly wonder about the downcline of humanity and how much we can help these poor unfortunate souls. No, nobody wants to hear him say that. We want to hear what The Rock thinks.
Yeah, it reminded me when Sheik would go off on stuff and just say any kind of off-color thing about anyone.
Classy Freddie Blassie was a good heel, but I was going to tell you that my favorite moment with Rock, and you can find it somewhere on YouTube. I probably wouldn't ever be able to play it here, but there was I don't know if it was after the match was over with. I don't even know if this was actually on the TV show or whether it was dark. But there was a kid in the audience, and I think he was sick or had some terminal illness or something. And The Rock gave him his T-shirt, and the crowd popped. And he said, "No! You don't cheer for The Rock. The Rock's a bad guy," or something like that. And I just thought that was hilarious.
Right.
Rocky
Mountain he did something similar when he started to get some traction, because usually when a heel, and Stone Cold had this, when a heel becomes hot, then the heel almost becomes a baby, because the crowd is starting to, the heel became cool. And so then when The Rock started to become hot and the crowd would kind of go along with it, he'd do that, if you smell, and the crowd would say it, and The Rock would cut him off. No, this isn't freaking sing along with The Rock. The Rock says it by his damn self. That was great.
I like when they did that sketch with the DX, and it was like the Croc, and like Shawn and X-Pac and Triple H all dressed up as like the Nation and that. That was hilarious.
It was B-Lo.
And it was like the funniest one was like X-Pac. It was like Fat Albert size trying to be Mark Henry in the big foam suit.
Well,
I remember when they did it. They had was it Road Dogg who was D-Lo and he was B-Lo.
Yeah. And all the guys who were being parodied all loved and were busted up by that sketch. And years later, like, oh, that's offensive. I'm like, get out of here, you fucking soft people. Yeah. It was hilarious. If the guys who made parodies loved it, you could enjoy it. Come on.
Well, they did it in reverse. The Nation was
they did.
One, you know. So
another one I liked is it was Shawn and Triple H, just the two of them dressed up as McMahon and Son, and he was constantly bouncing around the ring doing that Shane shuffle, and he'd stop and go, son, what's wrong with you? Are you retarded? He'd go, yes, Dad.
No, it's funny because in those days they weren't so PC or they weren't so worried about offending anybody. They just kind of went for it, you know. And you can never.
But they offended everybody equally. They weren't going after anyone in particular, you know.
No, and it's like I remember people were crying about South Park when they had like Timmy and Jimmy, and they were like, "Well, this is offensive. This is offensive for special people."
The whole point of the show is to be offensive. You don't get it after 20 seasons.
You can't do Timmy and you can't do Jimmy, and I argued, no, it's not offensive, and I'll tell you why. The kids aren't going, "Hey, Timmy, you're retarded. You can't hang out with us." Timmy was accepted as one of them. He was part of the gang. He was invited in. He was treated as an equal. You know what I mean? And it's like, in a way, where they having a little fun, where they're having a little ha-ha with it. Yeah. Yeah, they're having a little fun. They're having a little ha-ha with it. But they were also showing you how to behave as a human being with these people. You know, they're equal.
Timmy! Well, look here. Recently, Seinfeld was making the rounds for his Pop-Tart movie that sucked. But he did say something that did resonate with me. All of this PC crap that's been going on lately, that also is known as woke, and people are now getting kind of hip to it, has ruined comedy. Ruined it. Because comedy is not meant to be offensive, it's meant to be funny, and sometimes it uses offensive things to make it goes so far over the line that it becomes funny. And we've lost that.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you have, because there are certain comedians that have rose above or immune to it. If you look into like Bill Burr or Dave Chappelle, they like refuse to be canceled or to be quieted, or they just did their thing. And if you are offended by it, they were like, good. It was supposed to be funny. Anyways, moving on, and then continue to double down and tell the joke even more horribly. You know, and I think that's where comedy is going to survive, is where people are going to have to just stick themselves out there and say, you can't cancel me. You can't be quiet. It's just a joke. Lighten the fuck up. Grow some skin. Thank you. Fuck you. Goodbye. You know, I think that's how it's going to have to live.
Nowhere Bound says Seinfeld is too sad and bitter for me. All his co-stars have done fine. Maybe not. I don't think his
the real man of the show. I'm confused.
I agree with what he had to say. That's all. As far as comedy goes, comedy has been ruined by people who think that you can't offend a soul. Well, just take the fucking knocks out of the comedy. Then there's no yucks to be had if you can't do that, as far as I'm concerned. And nobody's really getting is nobody trying to offend any one person with that. These people live to be offended. Yeah. They can find offense in anything. You could say a man looks like he's in
I'm
the
offended
mafia,
that
but he
you
also
think
looks
I'm
like
offended.
he's gay, and then suddenly they'll tell you that you're calling him the gay mafia, and then now you got to be canceled and all that. You know, Trailer Park Boys. I agree with that.
Watch
That was a
out, Bill,
good
man.
show.
The gay mafia is highly offended now. They're coming after you.
Oh yeah, the rainbow crowd or the rainbow.
Yeah, no,
mafia.
and you can't
I
tell a
used
joke
it.
no
I
more.
said
You
it.
can't
God
be
damn
funny
it.
no more.
He's not funny anymore. Okay,
Oh,
well,
you
it's
know,
not funny for you. I still like
We
some
were
old
talking
Seinfeld
Seinfeld.
humor, but yeah. You know, well, we can all agree
We were
to
talking
disagree about
Seinfeld here a
things,
minute
but
ago.
yeah.
One of the things that I'd heard, one of the things I think you'll find interesting of the decline of Jerry Seinfeld, his mental state, is at one point when the show Friends was becoming popular, and Friends was becoming the number one TV show on TV, and it was becoming a thing. And Lisa Kudrow, who was a star on Friends, she ran into Jerry Seinfeld somewhere, and Jerry walked up to her and he goes, "Oh yeah, you're welcome." And she's like, "What's he talking about?" And it turns out he was taking credit for Friends' popularity because they came on after Seinfeld reruns. He thought that he was moving the needle on that, and it wasn't them.
No. And Sue Studio's got a point. Comedy in and of itself is actually being offensive because it makes fun of the world around you.
Well put.
Well put, Sue Studio. I agree with
Yeah,
that.
but no one's found like the perfect joke that doesn't offend anyone ever about anything. Otherwise, you might as well not say any jokes.
Well, if you want to see that, then it's kind of like watching what late night TV has become now on the network. Nothing. Oh, Orange Man bad. Ha 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 ha. All right, guys, let's.
Yeah, I've got a friend who's in a wheelchair, and he's always been in a wheelchair all his life, and we're good mates and talk about films and whatnot. But I'll make fun of him to his face about all kinds of things, but he'll give shit back to me as well.
Right.
Oh yeah, I think I told Jonezer this story once before. You know, there was this guy that was just the most offensive, obnoxious son of a bitch in the bar one night, and I finally got sick of it, and I went over and dumped his ass out of his fucking wheelchair. I like that meme.
That is funny.
You guys ready for some music and fun? We got another set coming up here. I want to get that queued up. As the night rolls on here, we're having a good one tonight. A lot of nice discussion. I like having the ability to do this, even though it's kind of tedious with the lag. We are making do with what we have here. Find them. There we go. How about some sea shanties, guys?
Right.
We
no,
haven't
the
heard any of
latency
those
is
in a
kind
while.
of a rough. Sounds good to me.
You were talking about the latency. Go ahead and finish your statement there.
Oh, well, I was just saying it was funny because the the latency came to play as I was talking about it. But
late,
I mean, that's
echo, late.
Yeah,
right. It's like
we've got our
where
problem
I
over
am
here,
talking,
but
or Bill's probably barely hearing me begin there.
yeah. Well, I was going to say we've got our problems here, but there's a solution to that problem, and that would probably be me with a better computer. You know, I have
Just call it late night
I
echo stream.
haven't begged all night long, and I've only gotten one super chat, and the super chatter wants to see Stinkor. Well, I'll make sure that happens, but it probably won't be in this set. We've got sea shanties coming up right now, but if you guys want some comedy, you let me know, so that I can set y'all up a little bit of that comedy. I didn't put any in tonight, but we can certainly do it. I make jokes all the time. People say, "What's up?" and I say, "It's not my cell count." Don't get mad. Hell, yeah, and that's how we keep our sanity a lot of times. is by making fun of that shit that's getting us down. The old comedy shows, they were the best. I'm about to the point where I'm going to put some really, really offensive early 2000s shit on the show, just to show you what comedy really was and why that shit is still fucking funny. And I might do that tomorrow. What's the name of that song? White Hot Rage?
It's not Toey. I get decapitated.
I'm getting the feeling that you guys want some comedy stuff and towards the end of this show. If that's what you want, make me believe it. That's all I gotta say. Just make me believe it.
Man.
All right, we're gonna hit this next round of music and fun. And while that's going, I might set up something for you guys, but make me believe it. All right, here we go, guys. Here's the ante.
Ready? 2, 3. What do we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning, way hey up she rises, way hey up she rises, way hey up she rises. Early in the morning, way hey up she rises, way hey up she rises, way hey up she rises. Early in the morning.
Shave his belly with a rusty razor. Shave his belly with a rusty razor. Shave his belly with a rusty razor. Early in the morning.
Way hey up she rises. Way hey up she rises. Way hey up she rises. Early in the morning. Put him in a longboat till he's sober. Put him in a longboat till he's sober. Put him in a longboat till he's sober. Early in the morning. Way hey up she rises. Way hey up she rises. Way hey up she rises. Early in the morning. Way hey up she rises. Way hey up she rises. Way hey up she rises. Early in the morning.
Stick him in the scupper with a hose pipe on him. Stick him in the scupper with a hose pipe on him. Stick him in the scupper with a hose pipe on him. Early in the morning.
Way hey and up she rises. Way hey and up she rises. Way hey and up she rises. Early in the morning. Give him a dose of salt and water. Give him a dose of salt and water. Give him a dose of salt and water. Early in the morning. Way hey oh, way hey oh, way hey oh. Early in the morning.
That's what we do with the drunken sailor. That's what we do with the drunken sailor. That's what we do with the drunken sailor. Early in the morning.
Way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises, early in the morning. Way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises, early in the morning. Way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises, early in the morning. There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship was the Billy O.T. The winds blew up her bow, dip down, or below my bully boys blow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She'd not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Before the boat had hit the water, the whale's tail came up and caught her. All hands to the side, harpooned and fought her when she dived down low. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. No line was cut, no whale was freed. The captain's mind was not of greed, and he belonged to the whaleman's creed. She took that ship in tow. Soon may the the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. For 40 days or even more, the line went slack, then tight once more. All boats were lost, there were only 4, but still that whale did go. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. As far as I've heard, the fight's still on, the line's not cut and the whale's not gone. The Wellerman makes his regular call to encourage the captain, crew and all. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
Has been raised from
We had a lot of chat going on while we were playing the music, talking about George Carlin. George Carlin still holds up to this very day. A lot of what he had to say came true, did it not, Joneser?
It did, and one of my observations I always said of him is somewhere in the 70s, George Carlin stopped trying to tell jokes and just started telling the truth in a funny way, you know. And I some people didn't agree with his politics, some people did. What I find it funny is at the time, Carlin came off as a hardcore left-wing person, and nowadays you hear him and he sounds more like he's right down the middle. And I think that just shows the state of how politics have changed.
Yeah, well, what was considered left wing back in the day is considered Yahtzee now, because back then big corporations bad. Now big corporations good. Let's go get some jobs.
Right.
Max Headroom, yeah.
It was soft flip.
I was talking to Johnny about that while the music was playing. You know, he's out there downloading Max Headroom commercials right now. I need to get some of those. I had them at one time, but I don't anymore. How much do I have to pay for that?
There was a show that was ahead of its time.
Go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
I like the opening theme's really cool. I just think the theme music was cool. Max Headroom.
That show was very ahead of its time. It was very different, and it was just something new. And it was neat. It's something I think that would have been more appreciated years later than it was in its moment.
Well, all right. Talking about max headroom, I'm gonna throw this one out here to the chat in general, and I might even do another poll before the show's over with. I know a lot about max headroom, and I know how the show was created and why, and I also know what happened when it came to the United States, and as Johnny was talking about, how it sold out. Would you guys like to see a spotlight on max headroom at some point in the future? I mean, I'm not going to go into all that tonight.
That'd be very fun, and he's reared his ugly head on this show enough where I think he deserves a spotlight.
Absolutely, and I still have it around here somewhere. Oh, here he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does show up from time to time. At the time, Mike bring to the point that plastic suit that he had on. All right, so the thing is, back in the day, before computer technology was able to create that had to be created with practical special effects, and we thought it really was computer animated for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So
they
back
didn't
to
have
what we
no
were talking
fancy
about
computers
now,
then.
I'm going up here trying to look through the chat a little bit from some stuff that was said while we were playing music. Sam Kinison. Sam Kinison was funny as hell, and at one time they had all of his stuff on Netflix, and I was able to watch it. I don't know if it's still there or not. And then Nowhere Bound talking about going to see Carlin in Vegas, and there were some businessmen from Wisconsin who didn't like the politics. Well, I thought he was supposed to be funny, but he was being awesome, he says.
Yeah, that's just it. Maybe he wasn't for everybody, but the more people I know that watched or listened to his bits tend to agree with him more than they didn't.
Well, one of my favorite ones was you do what I do when you go to make a sandwich. Do you get the end piece that's a little bit stale, or do you reach into the middle and get some bread out of the middle that's all fresh? Let my family eat stale bread.
I always liked his bit about save the planet. Like, how ignorant are you? You think you can save the planet? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this planet will shake us off like a freaking flea. You actually think you can make a dent?
This planet ain't going anywhere. This planet will outlive us all. And case in point. So, how many epochs have there been? The Jurassic Age, and the Cretaceous Age, and this age, and that age, and they lasted so many million years, and then suddenly all that shit got wiped out, and new shit took its place. That's going to happen to us one day, whether we want it to or not. Cold. Go ahead, Johnny.
I said it gets too hot and then it gets too cold and goes the other way around again.
Yeah, and it's not anything we're doing to cause that, in my opinion. I mean, we may exasperate it a little bit, yes, but most of that is the sun itself. You can't control that. Sorry, folks. I remember when he got anti-religious, but that was okay too, because some of what he was saying, while you might not agree with it, it was still fucking funny.
Right.
The earth will be fine. I don't know about us though. You're right. Absolutely right. Nowhere Bound. That is the truth.
No, well, that was the line he said in the bit.
Yeah, I don't know about us though. Yeah, we're the ones that are going to doom ourselves. It's not, and the earth will be just fine. And as a matter of fact, it'll come right back, all by itself. And sometimes I think that's what they want. They want to get rid of all of us so that it can do that. It sounds like something out of a Batman comic book. Was that not what Ra's al Ghul was all about?
Can we live beneath the planet of the apes?
I've watched some Gallagher. Yeah, he's funny, hilariously funny. But once you've watched him once, it's all the same thing over and over again. It's kind of like watching Carrot Top, right? That's.
I enjoyed Gallagher. Yeah, he had his shtick. He had his thing that made him funny. The one that lived with me forever was when he was busting on the Nintendo, and he took the Nintendo controller to the Sledge-O-Matic. He's like, "It's not the game, it's the freaking controller." Smashed the controller. That made me laugh.
That's a good idea. Ford Fairlane on movie night. Thing about movie night members and members, we do have those occasionally. We've only had a couple of them so far, but they're kind of hard to put together. Movie night is going to move from StreamYards, which we don't use anymore, to Google Meets. And in order to do that, I've had to install a special plug-in to my Google browser so that I can play movies in the Google Meets and you actually hear it. The couple of times that me and Jonezer have tested that, I could play something, but he couldn't hear what I was playing. But I think I've got that licked, Jonezer. So we may be able to do a music night again. They call me Tater Salad. My son is Tater Tot. Ron White. Yeah, that
Sure.
was Ron White. I loved me some Ron White back in the day. Damn, folks, we have gone a gamut here. It's almost time for showtime to end. So, I did a poll. I'm going to go ahead and end it. It's at 90%. Everybody wanted the comedy. They didn't want no folklore, so that's fine. Epic ballads and folklore is not what you guys want. You want some funny stuff. Funny stuff coming right up. So we're going to end this show with some funny stuff, and then we'll come back and as the Ducks play, we'll let Johnny and Jonezer have their final say for tonight. How about that, guys?
Sold.
All right, let me get it set up here. I've got to get in this thing and reset this OBS up so that it does what I want it to do, and it's not so hard for me to navigate it. And it's possible for me to do that. I just have to do it. Coming back over here. Fuck you, Johnny. Late night. I like that. I saw that in the Instagram when I pulled it up a minute ago. What in the hell has Jonezer got up there? That looks like that punch hurt. All right, here we go. Here's some.
That was Rocky Marciano hitting for the heavyweight championship of the world there against Jersey Joe Walcott. And the rumor has it Jersey Joe Walcott is still laying on the floor where he hit him.
Looked like it. Nowhere Bound said, I wanted some folklore. Well, not that I'm a capitalist or anything. I am after a new computer system, and I'm kind of low on funds here. We didn't make we have yet to make our goal for the month, which is for me to get paid, and YouTube only pays us out in $100 increments. But I could be bribed into playing a last set of music after this comedy and fun, but I've got to have that come in. If I don't, we're going to end the show. But here we go. Let me get it queued up here. Where did it go? God damn it. Here it is. Music and fun, guys. Here we go. I need to make sure I got it set up, though, so something doesn't play over something else. All right. I got it. Go.
I'm Mr. White Christmas. I'm high on crack. I'm Mr. I see you. I'm Mr. Pain in his back. They call me crack addict. Whatever I touch, sure to buy more drugs. It's never enough. He's Mr. White Christmas. face. He's high on crack. He's Mr. I see you. He's Mr. Pain in his back. They call me crack addict. Whatever I touch, it's so to buy more drugs. It's never enough.
Alright. Now Huey is a guy who ain't very smart. He just rambles along in his crazy car. He shows no class and acts like a clown. And there's always a smell around Huey's hot rod. Yeah. A little homebrew really makes it feel. He can hardly hold his woody steering wheel. With stovepipe on top, he doesn't show much class. But there's nothing on the road that Huey can't pass. Huey's hot rod, the coolest rod on the scene. Huey's hot rod, the smelly rod, feeling mean. His brew is a leaking and there's holes in the floor. But Huey just keeps coming back for more.
Huey's hot rod ain't exactly Mr. Wayne.
Don't make a mistake and tempt him at a light, because before you know it, he'll be out of sight. He'll make you look just like you're standing still, and if his rod doesn't get you, then the awful smell will.
What's that awful smell?
Don't make a mistake and tempt him at a light, because before you know it, he'll be out of sight. He'll make you look just like you're standing still, and if his rod doesn't get you, then the awful smell will. You hot rod.
He's the dirtiest little kid I've ever seen. He smells. What are you gonna do with a kid like that?
He's vicious.
Doesn't brush his teeth. Doesn't comb his hair.
I'll be between his toes.
Right.
Oh shit.
And we are back. I don't see Johnny down there. What's it, Jonezer? My buddy investing in stocks, investing in comics, getting in. That's my. Don't know why we're not seeing our buddies. Got an old house.
There he is. He was a ninja.
What's going on with Johnny Sorensen here? Why are you not on my screen?
I'm in.
Stop and restart.
Flicker your camera, go on and off.
Yeah, go on and off with the camera in video. There you go. That worked. That's
There it is.
That's how
It
we get
happens to
around
me
it.
all the time.
I was there, it just wasn't showing me.
Yeah, it happens to me all the time when you put that little picture up.
Know these little tricks. All right, so everybody's talking about outhouses. The story I've got about outhouses is my dad told this, and Lord knows it has to be true because he told it, right? Oh yeah, we're feeding the ducks already. Nobody bribed me into continuing the show, so it's going to stop. Anyway, so as we were going, so this traveling salesman came, and usually if they came toward the evening, they would ask if they could stay the night, and they'd put them up. And And so Dad and the boys decided to play a trick on old traveling salesman there. And they went out and picked up the outhouse and moved it behind the hole. So in the middle of the pitch black night, because there weren't street lights back in those days, old traveling salesman got up and ran out the back door and fell right in the hole. Yeah. All right, it is time to feed the ducks. The ducks should be playing right now. We will start with Johnny Sorensen. Tell us what's going on over there on your channel. I know the Bubba Hicks show is
what are we doing? This week, tonight, tomorrow, talking about Transformers the movie, like the cartoon movie, not the ridiculous ones that came many years later. They don't exist.
And you've done a little restructuring over there too. Tell us about that.
Well, I didn't really want to. Basically, if you've watched Lethal Weapon 2, that scene where Joe Pesci's like, they fuck you with a drive-through, they fuck you with a drive-through, you wait till you drive away, and YouTube's just been fucking me out the ass big time. Well, I mean, I've only been making stuff on there a year or two, but I've had an account for 10 years. But they've just been burying everything I put on there. Everything. I used to get like an average of maybe 100 views for a podcast. Now I get like 5 or 0 or just nothing. It doesn't even show up for people. So I've just been delisting a lot of stuff and curating what's on there. So if you click on there, it's just all one thing. It's just like these 40 episodes of a podcast and everything else is still there, but I've delisted it because it keeps cluttering up and the algorithm just keeps fucking everything I put on there and not showing it to anyone.
Oh, I'm wondering there, Johnny, are you going to start another channel and put those shorts and stuff over there?
Algorithms are hard not to crack.
What? Sorry, can you repeat that?
Go ahead, Jonezer.
Bill, sorry, because Bill was a little bit quiet in you, so I couldn't pay him.
Oh, you're fine. I was just going to say that YouTube's algorithms is tough not to crack.
Like I get like I've done written blogs for like 10 years and I haven't done much in the last 12 months really, but before I've written several hundred articles over 10 years, and there's old articles from a year ago or 10 years ago that are still getting views where I haven't been on that websites and WordPress or written anything new in about 12 months. Whereas stuff I did last week on YouTube is getting completely buried. So it's its own little ecosystem. It completely ignores Google and search engines and other stuff for actual true ranking. And they purposely push down channels and such in favor of I mean, they're a business. They exist to make money. So they're going to spruik all their big channels that have all their advertisements and shit. So I get it from that point of view, but they shouldn't shit on everyone that's below those top people because no one else can ever do anything on there. And I don't give a fuck about ever making money or commercial. I just do it to hang out with guys like you just for fun. Like, I don't give a shit about any of that stuff. But it just shits me that even the people who actually I talk to regularly online are like, oh, their stuff doesn't even show up. But it's the same. I have to go looking for treasures for Trigger Phil's videos. They never show up on my damn feed. And I always click his videos and I like them and I watch them. You know, they never fucking show up.
I can only say that when I'm looking for my friends' stuff that I want to watch, most of you guys, unless you go live, YouTube doesn't even tell me. If you post something, I don't get nothing. If you go live, I'll see it at the top of my feed. But if you don't, if I'm not there when it happens, forget it. You know, I don't see it. I have to go searching for it. So what I usually do if I want to keep up with certain folks, you got to go into that little subscriptions bar on the side and click on that, and then it'll give you just your subscriptions, not what YouTube thinks you should see.
Yeah, it's frustrating because there's a lot of stuff I try and follow on there, and sometimes there's stuff I know it's on there a week ago, and I'm searching, looking for it for other people, and it won't bring it up. It's just hopeless. It just buries stuff.
It's heartbreaking, and they also fuck with your numbers, and I don't think those numbers are correct. Jonezer and I have talked about that at length. I think that they're made up numbers to mess with your head.
I don't even know if messing with your head is the right way to say that. It's just it's what the number they want it to say.
Yeah, I know if people aren't signed in, it will show different things. But like, if I look at any stats, it's usually about 60% just people looking at YouTube, 40% people that are subscribed or previous viewer or whatever.
Mike V says he's wanting some birthday money this month. He's struggling. Well, happy birthday, brother. I hope you get where you need to be, and don't worry about it. You know, we're making it just fine over here. And yes, I do this for fun. If I wasn't doing this for fun, I wouldn't be here tonight. But I enjoy everyone who's been here. Thank you for being on with us tonight, Johnny. You're a breath of fresh air over here.
Oh, that's cool.
And what I want to do is tell everybody that we do have a show tomorrow. Yeah, we do have a show tomorrow night. I will get working on that probably sometime tomorrow and get it ready for tomorrow night. I hope Jonezer will be able to make it with me. And the thing about the music is I've got enough music now I can rotate it so that you're not hearing the same thing on every show. So yeah, you're not going to hear Angie Baby every time I do a show. You're not going to hear the comedy bits sometimes, and they may sprinkle around and I may shuffle them around. I'm trying to do 3 sets. But yeah, what we're looking for is if we do 3 sets of what I fixed, and you guys tell me what you want to hear and you make it worth my while, I'll set up a last set for the end of the show. Do one like that, Bill. Tila and Evil Men riding around in a Barbie car. Well, the Brat car. The Brat car is kind of a little expensive nowadays, isn't it, Jonezer?
Oh yeah.
Damn 3 POA podcast. They've ruined it for everyone.
Yeah, they did. I wish I had a Brat car and I could do that. But and as far as some of this copyrighted music goes, you know, I skirt the line, and sometimes I have to trim them out after the show's over with. I'll have to trim every bit of that last set out except for a couple of them. But yeah, and what I want you guys to do is after the show ends and the comments box opens up down there, is to go down in the comment box. Tell me what you liked and tell me what you didn't like. Tell me what you want to hear, and I will read every one of those comments. I will like them and heart them, and I will sometimes answer them if you ask me a question or it's something that needs an answer to. If you're a member of the channel, you will always get some sort of response out of me. And do all of that, and you may see some more of the things that you want to see, because all I can do is guess from my point of view. And sometimes my guesses are good and sometimes they're not. But I try to make the show as entertaining as I possibly can. Tonight's show was an off-the-cuff show. Sometimes those are good, sometimes they're not. I think we did a pretty good job tonight. And finally, I'm going to end with Jonezer. What you got going on over there? Because I heard some good things earlier today.
There's some stuff in the works, and I've been heavily into the scripting. I've had a lot of people, I like Salt especially, was calling out for episode 2 of Dick Tracy. I have scripted out not only episode 2 but several ahead. We're in the set building stage, and we're hoping to be filming it as soon as I can find the time. You know, I haven't put any content out for months. I've kind of just lost my will to want to do it. Hopefully we'll find some creativity bug that'll bite me in the ass and I'll get back going again.
I hope you find it, because I really like your content there, John. Well, that ends tonight's show. Good journey, everybody. Yeah, he's going to give you the ham loaf eventually, I guarantee. And yeah, we've about reached the end of this one. So good journey, everybody. We'll see you next time right here on Weird Fantastic Toy Adventure.
Special thanks to the channel supporters. Without your help, these adventures would not be possible. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's adventure, please hit like, subscribe, and share the video.